Tonight at 5, as the new school year begins, we're seeing how state officials are offering local districts new resources when it comes to school safety. Plus, we're learning new information about that attack that left a UW student in critical condition. And we're following up after the pier collapse off the Memorial Union Terrace, a closer look at the response there. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. School started today for many children across Wisconsin, and with the new school year come renewed questions about school security. And here with more is News 3 Now's Will Keneally. Will?
Well, Eric, we have a handful of different resources here in Wisconsin that funnel through the State Department of Justice's Office of School Safety. Now, that office was started in the wake of the Parkland, Florida shooting, and we heard from state and local officials how some of those resources truly make an impact on the ground level for people who work closely with students.
Is an anonymous reporting system, and so I think that definitely helps students find a way to report things that they don't necessarily want to tie themselves to. And so when kids are able to stay anonymous and still be able to give some good information, it's really helpful, I think, for them to feel that they're doing something.
Now, the Office of School Safety maintains an anonymous hotline where students and staff can submit tips. That can even include things for bullying, which the school resource officer that we spoke to says can still be helpful information too. The hotline is called Speak Up and is available on the state DOJ website. We'll have more info on this coming up tonight at 6.
Will, thank you. Much cooler temperatures expected tomorrow. Meteorologist Jacob Madison now with our first warn forecast. Jacob?
Thanks, Eric. We do still have the alert day, but it's not going to last much longer. The alert day is for the rest of this evening, really for about the next hour or so, because we can still see the heat index values up into the middle 90s. And there actually is still a heat advisory in effect for Crawford County until 6 p.m., as well as areas around La Crosse. Now, looking at the current temperature, still well into the 80s. We didn't really see as many 90s today as we saw the last 2 days, but still a pretty warm one. And looking at the heat index values, still in the lower 90s for a lot of locations, and that includes Madison. We have a current heat index of 90. Now, throughout the evening, it is going to remain warm with temperatures mostly in the 80s, but we also are going to see a lot of cloud cover, and that will make the temperatures feel a little bit cooler than what they actually are. And then we actually have a chance of rain later in the evening. Looking at the current radar, we have some very light showers in the southwestern portion of the state, but they will likely not amount to much. We will likely see heavier rainfall later in the evening and into the overnight hours, but the heavy rain will probably not impact all of our area. I'll talk more in detail about the forecast coming up a bit later in the show.
All right, Jacob, and our alert day is wrapped up. Many of those cooler temperatures for students in the Madison School District as they get ready to return to school. But the earlier parts of the school year, it can always be quite warm. And Jalen Banks joins us now with how the Madison District is ready to keep those students and staff cool. Jalen?
That's right, Eric. The earlier parts of the fall and the end of summer can still be a little bit toasty, especially for MMSD schools that don't have air conditioning. The district has created and mapped out a plan to combat potential heat. And if needed, they will rotate students to their cool zones. Each classroom will have fans, and every building will have health staff monitoring and looking for people who might be showing symptoms of heat stroke and exhaustion. But the district is happy just to be back in session.
I was just thinking leading up into this day, just so many wondering, will all of our students get to school on time this morning? Will we have enough teachers in place? With the heat here, water is going to be delivered. So there's a lot of things that we're thinking about and wondering. But most importantly, we're excited just to be able to have our students back with us.
Students will also have unlimited access to water, but even though we're not expected to see extreme temps anytime soon, the district is really encouraging parents to send their students to school dressed in lighter clothing.
Yeah, good advice there, Jalen. Thank you. And just a few weeks into the new school year, several schools around the country have already suspended in-person learning due to a spread of COVID-19. CDC data shows cases and hospitalizations are on the rise, but those numbers are still far below the peaks of previous years. And now with millions of students beginning their school year this week, medical experts are concerned the increases will continue. Dr. Shoshana Ungerleider is an internal medicine physician. She says getting the updated COVID vaccine and masking up are important, but so are other basic health habits.
Keep up with washing those hands with soap and water or hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. And of course, if you're feeling sick, it's really best to stay home if at all possible. And indoors, proper ventilation actually makes a huge difference. So open those windows when you can and use air purifiers if you have them.
Ungerleider says the current tests and treatments are effective against the EG5 variant, the dominant strain right now, making up more than 20% of projected cases. Meanwhile, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is isolating after testing positive for COVID-19 for the second time. White House officials say the 72-year-old is experiencing mild symptoms and will remain in Delaware at the family's vacation home for the rest of the week. President Biden has so far tested negative and continues to test frequently as he prepares for a trip overseas. The president set to travel to India to meet with G20 partners later this week, followed by a stop in Vietnam. We're learning new details about an attack over the weekend that left a UW student hospitalized with severe injuries. Police have confirmed the woman in her 20s was physically and sexually assaulted. She was found with severe injuries between West Wilson and Bedford Streets just after 3:15 Sunday morning. The woman was hospitalized in critical condition but is expected to survive. As of this moment, no arrests have been made. Investigators are now asking people who live in that area to share any surveillance video that may have captured the attack. And that attack is raising questions among people about sexual violence in the Madison community. Our Kyle Pozorski joins us with more on ways to speak up and get help if you're a victim. Kyle?
Eric, today I visited Dane County Sexual Violence Resource Center. They tell me that victims of sexual assaults often struggle through the recovery process, but it's important to always reach out so you have a voice.
It can be 5 years later, 10 years later, it can be right after the incident.
Tierney Twing of the Sexual Violence Resource Center says victims of sexual assault often take long periods of time to come forward due to the nature of their circumstance.
People come in and they're like, hey, something happened when I lived in a different country and it was 10 years ago and now I'm ready to talk about it. And maybe I want some therapy for it, or maybe I just want to tell someone.
She says that's why the center strives to serve victims in the Madison community. Formerly known as the Rape Crisis Center, their 24-hour phone lines are set up for victims to talk through what happened to them. She says for some, their road to recovery can be long, others short.
Then we'll talk through like what feels best for you. There's no correct way, there's no correct option, and it depends. It changes for each person.
But their top focus is to help victims find their voice, to share what happened to them, and come to a solution.
And we're here to make sure their voices are elevated, right? Because it can be a very hard thing to have to go through. So having someone who's there with you from the start to the finish is important.
People we spoke with following this weekend's attack say for them, being mindful of where they go is just as critical as a step to making sure they stay safe.
Make sure you have your flashlights, make sure you have phone on you. Probably don't stray too far from the entrance of your building, and just kind of be naturally aware of your surroundings.
The center also tells me that while they haven't identified a trend of increased sexual assault incidents, these types of attacks continue to be taken seriously.
Kyle, thank you. Now, if you haven't seen this video, take a look. Yesterday, a pier at the UW-Madison Memorial Union Terrace collapsed with 60 to 80 people standing on it. One person went to the hospital, dozens were hurt. Today, our Catherine Merck spoke with the fire department about their response.
Eric, well, that pier that I was in front of this time yesterday is now gone, and cleanup has been underway for the past day. Right behind me, we just saw a couple of scuba divers go under looking for some people's belongings, and that's not the only person that's been out here today. Take a look at some of the video that I got of what's been going on here. Crews on barges were part of the people removing the broken parts of the dock out of the water. They were already planning to remove the pier to mark the end of summer season the day after Labor Day. The Madison Fire Department was involved in some of the water rescues that happened yesterday. I spoke with a lieutenant who was there helping people in the rescue about the severity of this kind of call.
It could have been a lot worse. You know, again, we were fortunate to know that everybody was accounted for, because putting our divers into an environment like that where the structure is collapsed on itself and intertwined is very dangerous for our divers.
I reached out to the university, who told me no one was going to be able to speak about the collapse on camera. A spokesperson told me over email that the swimming area of that part of the Memorial Union Terrace was technically closed at the time of the collapse. Reporting live from UW-Madison's campus, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. The Wisconsin State Patrol keeping a close eye on a popular route to Portage and Wisconsin Dells this week. State Patrol pilots will be conducting aerial enforcement for I-39, 90, 94 in Columbia County. The pilots watch from the sky and then contact troopers on the ground if they spot a violator. Pilots will also be in the air over I-39 up in Marquette County on Wednesday, I-94 in Waukesha County on Thursday. New at 5, United Airlines issued an hour-long ground stop this afternoon because of an equipment outage. The FAA issued an alert delaying all flights nationwide for a little over an hour. That outage impacted hundreds of flights. Some were even canceled. Flights that were already airborne continued to their final destinations as planned. United is investigating the cause of the slowdown, but does not believe it's a cybersecurity issue. Coming up, Jacob's back, our complete forecast, plus more on a leader of the Proud Boys who was in federal court today in connection to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. And trading resumes after the holiday weekend on Wall Street. The Dow tumbles 196 points, the Nasdaq off 11, S&P 500 falls 19. We'll be right back.
Fry Construction invites you to usher in the fall season with our exclusive fall sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board for our fall savings. Save 23% off gutters with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes, and as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
We're tracking some storms tonight and tomorrow, along with much cooler temperatures. All the details tonight at 6.
And a popular pier at the Memorial Union Terrace collapsed yesterday. How cleanup crews are working to remove the remaining portions. That's tonight at 6.
Help us pack the truck to kick off Coats for Kids.
Monday, News 3 Now is collecting kid-sized winter coats at Clinky Cleaners on Monona Drive.
Stop by with a coat to keep kids warm this winter.
Pack the truck for Coats for Kids.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
New at 5, doctors on Capitol Hill say they do not think Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell suffered a stroke or seizure after the 81-year-old Republican froze on camera for a second time in 2 months. Doctors say Senator McConnell also shows no evidence of a movement disorder like Parkinson's. They believe the episodes are connected to a fall that Senator McConnell had back in March where he suffered a concussion. Health officials say people who have suffered concussions can feel lightheaded at times. The Senate is back in session today after a 5-week recess. Senator McConnell expected to make remarks on on the floor. A historic impeachment trial now underway in Texas involving State Attorney General and Trump ally Ken Paxton. The Republican faces 16 articles of impeachment related to allegations of bribery, dereliction of duty, and disregard of official duty following a vote in the GOP-controlled House in May. On the first day of the trial, the first witnesses in the case were sworn in. Attorneys on both sides presented opening arguments.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
When we are done, I believe that no matter your party affiliation, and no matter where you stand now, you will conclude what I have concluded, that there is nothing to this. This whole case is a whole lot of nothing.
Paxton denies the allegations. If all 12 Democrats vote to remove him from office, 9 Republican votes would still be needed. The Proud Boys leader, Enrique Tarrio, was sentenced to 22 years in prison today for his role in planning the January 6th Capitol riots, even though he wasn't there that day. Skylar Henry has more details from Washington, D.C.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is in federal court today to learn how much prison time he'll face for his role in the January 6, 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol. Tarrio was not in the Capitol that day because he'd been ordered out after setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner days earlier. Instead, prosecutors say he planned the assault and issued orders from a hotel outside the capital city. They're seeking a 33-year prison sentence.
The jury convicted him and 3 of his top lieutenants in that plot to essentially overthrow the government. So whether or not he was actually there or not is really not relevant.
Judge Timothy Kelly has been more lenient than what the government sought in 3 other Proud Boys seditious conspiracy convictions. Ethan Nordine received an 18-year sentence last Friday. Joseph Biggs received a 17-year sentence, even though the government asked for 33 years. And Zachary Rell got a 15-year sentence. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And another Proud Boys member, Christopher Worrell, escaped from house arrest and is now on the run. The FBI asking the public for help in locating him. Cuba says it has uncovered a human trafficking network that is recruiting its nationals to fight in Russia's war in Ukraine. The foreign ministry says most of these individuals are living in Russia, but some are in Cuba. Authorities are working to, quote, neutralize and dismantle the network. Havana and Moscow are close allies, but Cuba has stressed it is not part of the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has not commented on those allegations. The weather, much nicer starting tomorrow. Meteorologist Jacob Madison now with your complete forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, thanks, Eric. We are going to see temperatures improve dramatically, but we also are going to see some rain before that. Now, it will be late tonight and into tomorrow as well, and it is going to still be mild during the morning, but temperatures are actually going to fall throughout the afternoon, with temperatures peaking right around noon tomorrow. I'll talk about that later, but after tomorrow, it's actually going to be cool with high temperatures possibly only in the 60s by the time we get to Thursday. Now let me talk about the rain first. We are seeing some few light showers in southwestern Wisconsin, but we do have a chance for some severe weather tonight. Now we're not expecting to see widespread severe weather, as much of our area, actually our entire area, is under the marginal risk, which is only level 1 out of 5, but we definitely could see some large hail, maybe some damaging winds with some of the storms. Now they will move in from the southwest later into the evening, well after sunset. They are going to break up a bit as they move to the northeast, so areas to the south and west of Madison have the best chance to see the heavy rain and possibly some severe weather, with still a chance to see some severe weather in the south central portion of the state. But it will be a hit or miss for some locations, where some areas may see some heavy rain, other areas may not see much rain at all, and this will mostly be during the overnight hours, so not really going to impact too much across our area. Just probably probably stay inside, considering there could be some damaging winds and hail. And then throughout tomorrow, not going to see any severe weather, but we could see some very scattered showers and storms, where once again it will be a hit or miss depending on where some of the storms fire up. And this will continue throughout really the entire day into the evening hours. And then by the time we get to Thursday morning, although we are going to be very cloudy, we are expected to be dry. Now, as far as temperatures, tonight is still going to be pretty muggy, with lows right around 70. Chance of storms, especially late in the evening and a little bit after midnight. By the time we get to sunrise, we'll still see those scattered showers like I mentioned during the day tomorrow, but it's not expected to be as heavy. High temperatures tomorrow will be pretty different across our area because the cold front will move through during the afternoon. So areas that see the cold front move through earlier will have high temperatures possibly only in the 60s further west, but then the further east you go, places near Lake Michigan may still see high temperatures in the lower 80s. And then Thursday, it's going to feel like fall. We'll see a lot of clouds. We'll see high temperatures in the 60s. It is going to be dry as well. So for those of you that like fall weather, Thursday will probably be the first day we see that because we haven't had high temperatures in the 60s, I think, since May. I could be wrong on that, though. Now, if we look at the 6 to 10-day temperature outlook, we are going to continue to see the below-average temperatures, so the fall-like weather is here to stay. Now, for tomorrow, once again, it is still going to be mild in the morning, but that high of 78 will occur around noon, and it will cool down throughout the afternoon and evening. Might be in the 60s for the evening tomorrow, and then Thursday will likely be in the 60s as well, and then 70s Friday, mid to upper 70s for Saturday and Sunday, so it may get a bit warm, but pretty comfortable, especially compared to lately. And then we'll see high temperatures back in the lower 70s and upper 60s for a lot of next week. For your first warn traffic, not a lot going on outside the norm. There is some traffic on the 151 towards Verona, but pretty green considering the time of day we are right now. Green on the Beltline, green on the interstate. And that also includes down south towards Janesville, where we have up to 80 miles per hour in both directions. So maybe people might need to slow down a bit in that direction. And then up towards the Dells, also seeing some speeds up to 80 miles per hour. And as I mentioned, the Beltline looking good. 15 minutes eastbound, 14 minutes westbound. Some pretty downtown at 17 minutes. So traffic looking pretty good with the exception of the 151 towards Verona. And that's your first warn traffic. Back to you, Eric.
Jacob, thank you. Next at 5, we'll see how school districts across the country are doing their part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Haier. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
Are you sweating over high energy bills? Windows drafty or broken? Champion is here to help. With our 70th anniversary sale, buy 2 windows, get 2 free.
At Champion, we design new windows specific to your home's needs. Then they are built in our very own factory, installed by a team of professionals, and guaranteed for a lifetime by our best-in-class warranty.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. During September, there is a 1 in 3 chance the lightning ball strikes a set of 2 plays on Megabucks. When it does, players get an extra number, which means better odds of winning a prize. Jackpot not included. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Here's your parachute.
Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
There's
nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. And right now, save up to $700 on adjustable base sets. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Tempur-Pedic queen mattresses start at just $42 per month when you use Steinhafels 72-month financing. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Doctors may soon have new technology to diagnose autism in children more quickly and accurately. 2 studies released today suggest an eye tracking tool could diagnose autism in children as young as 16 months of age. The device is called Early Point Evaluation. It was recently cleared by the FDA to help clinicians intervene earlier than ever before. Early detection can lead to treatment approaches which help improve outcomes for children with autism. The study was published in JAMA, and the JAMA Network Open suggests the technology could really help the most where there is less access to expert medical care. Thousands of school buses across the U.S. are getting overhauled with new electric models. Top manufacturers are looking to address environmental and noise concerns. A study found that diesel-fueled buses were some of the biggest carbon emission culprits in some cities. That's why many school districts are switching to e-buses. The World Resource Institute says as of December of 2022, more than 5,600 e-school buses have been awarded, ordered, delivered, or are operating now in the U.S.
Boston is a great example where we have a fantastic partnership. They've got around 1,200 school buses on the road today, all Bluebird, and they're planning to electrify fully, but they're rolling it out in stages.
The e-buses can travel up to 130 miles on a single charge. Bus manufacturers are also working to expand a recharging network to help support electric school buses on the road. With school back in session, it's not just parents spending more money on school supplies. Reports are showing teachers are also digging deeper to meet their classroom needs out of pocket. In today's Consumer Watch, Melissa Rainey has a look at the impact.
First of all, let's stand up.
This back-to-school season, more than 90% of teachers are spending more of their own money on classroom supplies. That's according to the National Education Association, which is the largest teachers union in the U.S. It estimates that during the 2023-2024 academic year, teachers will spend $800 or more out of pocket.
And so for teachers, that's roughly 1 to 2 paychecks every school year they're spending on buying supplies and stepping into the gap for these students.
And inflation is making it harder for teachers to stretch those dollars. Most school supplies have jumped in price, with the cost of crayons, pens, and pencils up nearly 19% year over year. A separate report by Study.com found that nearly 70% of teachers cited persistent inflation as having a noticeable impact on their ability to afford supplies on their own this year.
When notebooks are on sale at Target, and I'd go buy a whole bunch of them, so I'd have them, so when a kid needed it, I just went to the stash that I bought.
And it comes at a time when more teachers are quitting their jobs, citing low salaries and other concerns, which is worsening an ongoing teacher shortage in the U.S. In February 2023, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were nearly 150,000 more openings in public education than there were hires.
With the high cost of inflation and prices, et cetera, teachers are concerned. And we're seeing all across the U.S. a demand for core essential school supplies.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Melissa Rainey.
And we'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break.
To update your furniture, Menards is your one-stop shop with all of the latest furniture styles at the lowest prices. Plus a great selection in stock, ready to take home today. So go ahead, relax in a recliner, get cozy in a love seat, or simply unwind with a comfy sofa. Need more seats? We've got sectionals too. Get 11% off on the entire Scotty furniture sets. Hurry in, these deals won't last long.
Save big money at Menards.
Elevate your savings at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, and office chairs and earn up to $1,500 credit toward the purchase of additional stressless furniture. Or receive $400 off the purchase of any stressless signature base or cross-base recliner and ottoman. Don't wait. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
At Lawton Cates, we connect you with top medical specialists after a serious injury. We hold the insurance company responsible for your lost wages and hospital bills, and we won't accept anything less than what you deserve. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Memories matter.
I think the biggest thing I got out of my service in Vietnam was a real sense of patriotism. I'm very proud of what I did. I fought for you, and I'd fight for you again.
This September 11th, we remember, and we never forget those who sacrificed everything for our freedoms. We are Crest Funeral and Cremation Service, and we know that your memories matter.
Tomorrow is more than just a fresh start. Tomorrow is a long time coming. It's continuing the work we started over 20 years ago by growing our investments in solar and wind. Bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Patio doors, patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors.
We do patio doors. That's ScottTheWindowGuy.com.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. Our in-depth report on America's student loan crisis. With payments resuming next month, borrowers are concerned about making ends meet. What to know about paying off your student loans, plus the impact it'll have on the economy. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up in 30 minutes, Madison's mayor announces her 2024 capital budget. A closer look at the plans. That story and more next hour on News 3 Now at 6. And we return with Jacob. Final check of the complete forecast.
Yeah, the heat is pretty much over. It's still going to be muggy tonight, but the big story tonight will actually be we have the potential for some severe weather. Now, it will move into our area from the southwest, and as it moves northeast, it will dissipate slightly. So areas in the southwestern portion of the state will see the best chance of the strong storms, but the rest of our area could still see some showers and storms, and throughout tomorrow, we'll see some lighter showers scattered.
We could certainly use the rain, although nothing severe. That would be nice. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.